director Thomas Vinterberg. We have a few more. Please join us in welcoming co-writer Tobias Lindholm. And of course, Man of the Year every year, Mads Mikkelsen. Yes, it is heavy, and yes, we want to open it to you guys if you're ready for it. If not, we understand, we will start without you, but let's open it to you guys. Yes, Andra.
Hi, I like the film a lot, love all your films, but I was just wondering, why did you make the decision to make him such an obviously innocent character?
Everybody heard? Yes.
We're wearing the same clothes, but we're not having the same voice. Because we wanted to remove any kind of distance between the audience and him. So doubting him would have been the obvious, we thought, and would have created a, for us, boring distance to it. We thought it would be more interesting to watch this film go through this journey with him, as close to him as possible. That's why.
That was a great answer.
Yeah.
Nice suit.
I think there was a deal on suits recently.
This is how Danish men look.
It's true, they do. They're all slick, all of them. Yes, there.
My question is for Mads. How did you ever possibly prepare for that role?
Well, luckily I'm standing right next to the two guys that deserve that honor. Even though he's going through some hard moments in this film, if you have a fantastic script, it's kind of easy for the actors. And I'm being serious. You know, that the toughest time for an actor is when the script doesn't work. And the nicest time for an actor is when it works. And you could just lean into this one that Thomas and Tobias had made, and obviously a couple of hard scenes, but it was something you really wanted to embrace. So the preparation was just the script and together with these two guys.
And just to bank on that, because it was asked about the innocence of the character, for you, was it always the case that he was 100% for sure innocent, or was there something you could sort of be on the cusp of, like perhaps, I mean, someone after seeing it told me, well, we never see that he's really not necessarily, like,
no, I think it's pretty obvious that the film is not a thriller. It is. We're definitely not trying to make did he do it story. We're definitely trying to tell a story about how enormous love can turn into enormous fear, and eventually turn into enormous hate as well. And that's what the film is about. So it's never a thriller.
But we did think about an ending where he's walking into the basement. Some nice little pictures.
Yeah.
We cut it out.
That's the Hollywood version of this film. Yes, there's many questions. Yes, right there. Yes, you.
What's the opening scene where where you show the men jumping off into the lake and you have the moon, moon dance in the background? It's very American, and it's also music that's a piece that's well, it has English words in it rather than say something maybe a Danish song. And why did you choose that piece?
It's solely...
Okay, the music in the beginning. Why was it English and not Danish when we jump in the lake?
And why this particular song? It was the groove. It's all about the groove, and it took us forever to get this song. And we had to get help from our good friends in the music business. And it's all about the groove. It's all about the warmth of this song, and maybe the echo of the days where people were together. You know, there's in this film we try to describe a loss of innocence. We try to describe the happy, naive togetherness of people as it was in the 70s, and how things have become more chaste and cold and fearful, for good reasons, obviously. So using a song from this guy with an echo from that time felt obvious for us. She was like, we have this wizard in Denmark called Jette Terman, and she's just very good at finding these kids and very good at training them, and she should take a lot of this credit. And then the girl herself was such a healthy, super talent, and so it was just a joyride to work with her. Sometimes the actors felt intimidated by her huge talent, because she was just, you know, mind-blowingly good. So we were lucky finding her.
Yeah, absolutely right. She was fantastic and a liar. No, I mean, she was amazing. One of the best things about that is you're having a kid on a film like this. I mean, we told her a fair amount of the story. She was aware of what she was doing. And then she would do the scene, a heartbreaking scene, and she would go just over in the corner and play with her friends. And she would come back home again and do the scene again. So, I mean, we were very lucky as well that she did not become disturbed about the scenes. And if that's the case in the film, it's going to be a long, long journey, and we were very, very lucky.
And as opposed to Mads, she didn't ask questions. She just did it, like the dog. She would go bark, and they bark twice, and they bark twice. And it's, you know, always go for kids and animals. And things become, no, it was, of course, a joyride. Just kidding.
In the middle? So a year later, has the character forgiven the town? Why does he stay, pretty much?
Like when, you know, they all greet him in that scene at the end before that missing scene.
I think there's never nothing that's 100%, and I think today I saw it for the third time, and I kind of I watched the scene where I'm sitting there watching my friends, and my best friend is giving out this gun and making this speech for my son, and this very beautiful scene where I look at all my friends, what we've been through for maybe 30 years in the last year, and what the future might bring. I think that was a very beautiful answer to your question. He doesn't know. He's just looking at them. This is what he had, and this is what's coming. And I thought that was actually a brilliant, brilliant scene to answer your question.
In the back in the middle?
First, I'd like to thank you for a great film and a great performance, but I'd like to ask a question that is, as much as I was angry for Lucas, I was also very angry at him because I felt like he wasn't taking the necessary steps to protect himself. He should have reported.
I want to answer that one.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because obviously we've done some interviews about this film, and a lot of people has questioned that. What would you have done? Okay, let's take it step by step, guys. So, he gets accused, and they tell him to wait until tomorrow. So he waits until tomorrow, but before tomorrow comes, somebody's called his wife. First thing he does, he goes straight to the kindergarten, confronts right away. Next step he does, he goes straight to his friend, confronts right away. Doors are closing, he's in a Kafka world. His girlfriend starts asking him questions, he throws her out. He's reacting constantly, and I think we get angry because we don't know what we should do with our anger. Who should you hit? Should you hit the kid, my best friend, the woman who works in the kindergarten? We don't know. But actually, he's doing all the right things, and he's reacting every single time. See it again. But obviously, it's a civilized thing. It's a civilized matter, the way he reacts. He could stand up and hit somebody from the beginning, but that would make him very guilty as well.
He didn't
Sorry.
report the killing of the dog or the attack in the kitchen. He didn't report when he was Carl kissed him to the principal at the first instance.
Report to the police?
No, to the principal.
Would you like to see that scene?
And not being surprised by the sudden accusations.
That's in the sequel.
I couldn't really hear the last bit. Sorry, say it again.
Because he didn't actually take the step to inform the principal that this incident happened before it actually got out of hand. And so
What incident?
the
Well, she's kissing him. Would you go and report that? We're in Denmark. We're not in America. No, but honestly, it was for a while. It was in the script, but it was ridiculous. I mean, kids do it all the time. You know, I mean, it's that's the case. He doesn't know what it is because we are maybe a little more open-minded back home than you guys are here. So that was not a police case. But I can see your point if it's like that over here. I'm so sorry.
No, but you can say that he actually does. He delivers the heart back to the little girl afterwards. So he is confronting that little kiss from her as well. And I guess that we would like him to be a hero, but this is a real life guy. And you don't react rational all the time. You always react in trying to solve the problem in an easy way. And I mean, that's the way you get caught in real life as well.
And Matthew mentioned it is Denmark, it is not America. Is this a way, like everybody in the community is very narrow-minded, like they never questioned a child, and I agree with you, like he doesn't take steps to inform the police more than, I mean, you just gave a great argument, I have to say, but still, there are steps that we think logically you should have taken. Is this a way to talk about either your country or of our time, where people don't necessarily question things that seem to be, everything is assumed in the movie, nobody reacts to facts, everybody heard one thing and they go with it?
I mean, if we have to answer that one rationally, yeah, we're in deep trouble. The thing is, none of these people are acting rational. We're talking about kids, and then you become extremely emotional. If you're coming to my dinner party with your kids and I tell your kids to shut the fuck up because you're noisy, you will not come to my dinner party for 2 years.
But that honestly, happened, and I'm still not going to your dinners.
But honestly, and this is not the case. This is somebody who's accusing him of touching the kid. All of a sudden, this is not here anymore. It's only here. So the fear is enormous, and that's why they're all reacting irrational, except him. He's trying to do it civilized, but it's not working.
Up until the headbutt.
Which feels good for everyone. It happens, yeah.
I mean, the president had not called me and say I should work in America. So that's not a lot of pressure. No, I mean, I work back home and I work in Germany sometimes, and I've actually never worked in the States, but I've done American productions. No, there's absolutely no pressure. I mean, I tend to do the stuff that I like and that I get offered that I like.
This question is for the director. What's your favorite scene and why?
My favorite scene is when all the friends are gathered around the table in the beginning, and I don't know why. I just so much enjoy doing that. This is the kind of scenes I want to do all the time. People around a table having a good time. There are quite a few scenes in this film that I truly enjoy. Also some of the painful ones. I like the church. I think Mads is doing a terrific job in the church, and he did it 34 times or something that day, or maybe 54 times, I would say. And those are the two emotional peaks for me. But that changes all the time, depending on how long you've been in the editing room, what scene you've been working on today, and stuff. But in general, I'm proud of the movie.
Thank you. I just, first of all, it's a beautiful film. Thank you very much. Also, Tobias, I saw Hijacking today. Wonderful film. Also, thank you. About the scene in the church, now that you've mentioned it, what was the reason for your choosing to put the most redemptive scene of the film, in a sense, the turning point scene in the church? Is there any special meaning in that, or just the obvious? Or?
Well, when it comes to the religious symbols and stuff, you don't have to ask my wife. She's a theologist, and she knows more about that. But no, what we both are very occupied with, writing whatever script we're writing, is rituals. Mm-hmm. When people gather for a reason, you get a sense of a story between these people. You get a sense of a community. You get a sense of a past, and you get a sense also of a higher meaning when people are in a church and they're at the same place every year. So this sort of solemn moment, ritualistic event, for us was a perfect timing and place for the peak of his emotions somehow.
It worked beautifully.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Why did he stay? Because did he even have faith in his friends, or why did he just leave and start over?
Why didn't he just leave and start over?
Well, he moved here. He's in Toronto now for 2 years.
No, but I mean, the goodwill is probably the answer to that. I believe that you always want to believe that it will be okay eventually. And we needed that shot in the end to prove to him that it would never change. I mean, of course, he wants to believe that his friends and family and everybody he always loved will be able to live with him. It's not the rational thing to do, but for me, it's very believable that if you've lived the whole life in a small town, you want to believe that everything will be okay someday.
Also, it would be a proof of his guilt if he left. So it would be wrong. He was innocent. This is his family. This is his life. We wanted to create a community that has always existed and that would go on existing. And this is the most important thing. This is what you live for. So just leaving it, I guess, is difficult. And especially for a good-hearted man like him.
And as a character, I would say, that there is a certain amount of stubbornness in him. He's a very stubborn man. He insists on that this is going to be treated in a civilized way, and he insists that this is his town. He will live here. He has to live here with his son, whatever happens. And it's, I mean, even though he doesn't give a lot of headbutts, he's very stubborn.
And do you see the gunshot at the end where we don't see who shoots either towards him or towards an animal as the one sign where even if he can live there, it will obviously never ever be the same. The threat remains. No matter how much he wants to believe it'll be okay.
Yes.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear. In the middle.
The town itself is such a constant character within the film. Are either two of you from a rural town like that in Denmark?
Not me.
I have lived in a town like that for 5 years of my childhood. So the whole thing about one church, and to go back to that question, the thing is that the only place you will never throw a guy out from is a church. So I mean, that's the only place he could go and force himself into be part of the town again. And that's how it worked. When I lived in a town like that, you know, if you go in the church for Christmas, everybody gets there. You know, everybody, people you don't know, even though it's a small town. So I lived there, yeah.
We wanted to do the film up here in Canada. No, seriously. And we were told that we couldn't finance it. And then we stuck our hands into the soil of Denmark. I think we gained from that. And at least we gained mass. You know, that's a fantastic thing. But it all started here, and now we're back. That's it. Great journey.
Why would you in Canada? You would want to shoot it here, or you would want to base the film here?
We wanted all the pine and the small village and the isolated feel and the grandness of this country.
I think you got that.
Yeah.
Your next film's here.
Well, yes, it's necessary.
I think there's a gentleman up there that's been very persistent. We see you.
Max, brilliant performance, and it's beautifully written and directed. I loved it. I saw a little echo of straw dogs, especially with the block going in and the dog getting killed. Was that an influence at all in the writing of the script?
Well, I love straw dogs. Were we influenced by Straw Dogs with Dustin Hoffman? Always. I love that movie. It's a horrifying movie. It'll never leave my mind. And probably we were influenced by it somehow. Not deliberately, though. We never talked about it. We never mentioned the film. But it's great.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't speak Danish, but I was wondering about the title of the movie. In English, it's got a great little double meaning. So it's the hunt, but also it's like a witch hunt. I was wondering about the original title, whether it has that same sort of meaning.
Exactly the same. Which I'm not very proud of that, actually. It's kind of one-to-one, I think. I like the title because it's catchy and it's simple, but the symbolism of it is quite easy to get, I think. It's not that clever, I think. but a great title, though. Anyway.
It's okay, it's a business after all. You want to... Okay, maybe one quick more. Yes.
There was a couple scenes that I felt like you were leading to an obvious conclusion, and then something happened that was drastically different. The first one I'm thinking of is when the son is being woken up by his godfather, who starts to ask him questions which are a little probing, and it almost feels like he's going to ask, were you ever molested? And I like that there's created a tension where, it felt like that to me, and it created a tension for me where it was like, how could you ask him that? And it made me sort of feel a mirror tension for the young girl, where, they wouldn't press her as hard. Then there was another scene, maybe I'm reading into it, but there was another scene within the dog was killed, but before that, the son was saying he's not into women, and again, I had this moment, and I felt there was even in this movie where there were, almost like he could have gone in a different direction, but he didn't, and it almost felt like he was going to say, like, I'm not into women,
Again, we're not in America. That's just the way a father and son is speaking together in Denmark. You're a little pull it back and you don't want to tell what's inside yourself. I think that was a little overwritten. But the first one, with my best friend, was slightly different. Yeah, I think you were on the right track there.
Well, that makes sense.
It's brilliant.
He is brilliant. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you, Thomas.